All right, time to check in with meteorologist Clay Smith. Clay, I know we've been trying to lay eyes on this blood moon all morning, but the clouds were in the way. Looks like now you finally got a good pic of it.
Yeah, we did get a good picture. This was from Inglewood, Tennessee. Again, most of you were unable to see the total lunar eclipse that happened earlier this morning. I tried, but the clouds were just too thick here in North Chattanooga. And a lot of comments from social media users and our viewers, well, they had the same experience. But not Marcia Massengill. She had a pretty good shot of the eclipse. You can see that reddish hue as that whole process began earlier this morning. And this is all made possible when the moon shifts into the Earth's shadow and all three are aligned, the moon, Earth, and sun, and it blots out the moon. So it gives it that reddish hue. It was close to the horizon. It was on the western edge of the area. Again, we weren't able to see it that well, but some did, especially outside of the Tennessee Valley. So hey, maybe next time, right? Here's the your temperatures: 58 in Chattanooga, 59 in Murphy, 61 in Athens. So we're slowly warming up. You know, when I stepped inside, it feels pretty good outside. There's a bit of a breeze, but it's, I would almost call it on the cooler side. Later today, we'll climb into the mid to upper 60s. Again, not going to be an incredibly warm day by no stretch. And it looks like North Georgia may stay a little bit cooler into the low 60s with some of that cold air damming wrapping around the Blue Ridge Mountains, but no rain today. However, a lot of cloud cover, and I wouldn't expect to see a ton of sunshine. We could get a few breaks in the clouds, seeing that across Middle Tennessee. So that could shift into parts of our area. So maybe a little bit of sunshine if we're lucky, but there's still a lot of cloud cover to go around across the entire southeast. Warm front to our north, rain into Kentucky, but most of the southeast is nice and dry on this Tuesday, and that's kind of going to be the trend for the next several days until we get to the weekend. But the big story, of course, is going to be the warmth. Record-breaking warmth later this week. High temperatures into the 80s Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I mean, look at this. We're going to shatter Friday's record of 82, 85 degrees in early March. It's a bit overboard. That's going to be a very warm day. So if you like warm weather, you're really going to like what lies ahead, because at the end of the week, our temperatures are going to be closer to what we should expect for, we'll say, late May. So it's going to be that warm, about 25 degrees above normal. That's a pattern trend that should continue the next 6 to 10 days. I am seeing signs that it may cool down a little bit towards the middle of the month, but the magnitude of that cold air is still unknown. We're still several, again, weeks away from the middle of March. But as we take a look at your allergy forecast, you already know with this sustained warm air, more and more trees are going to start to bloom. I'm already starting to notice a lot here across the Tennessee Valley. So our allergy index is going to be in the moderate range this week and likely rising into the high range. So if you're an allergy sufferer, I'd go ahead and prepare now because it's coming here shortly. Here's a look at your futurecast. Again, some showers return this weekend, maybe late Friday evening. In the overall pattern heading into the weekend, favoring some active weather. So we're going to have a couple systems trying to move in from the west. That could give us some more rain late Saturday. Not going to be a weekend washout, but we are going to have a couple periods of rain. So I encourage you to download that Local 3 weather app. That way you can keep abreast of all of the info and weather stuff that's going on here across the Tennessee Valley. And again, over the next 7 days, maybe up to an inch of rain. The heaviest stuff still going to stay kind of parked out to our west for now. I do think that's going to start to shift east next week, so I would expect better chances of rain moving into next week because it looks like the pattern is going to turn active and possibly even seeing some severe threats down the road. Again, we're getting into that time of the year, so we'll keep you updated on that. But looking ahead, next couple days, dry and cloudy, record warmth later this week with rain showers for your weekend.